Let's bring in Dave Dulio, Director of the Center for Civic Engagement and Political Science Professor at Oakland University. Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
The next day after the debate, I came in and I said, I think Nikki Haley won. And some other people said, I don't know. She was kind of mean or, I don't know. I don't know if I liked that attitude she brought. I said I liked it. I liked it a lot. She kind of moved her case more to the middle. What is your take from what you saw in that debate and what's happening since the debate with Nikki Haley?
Well, I would say a few things. One, I think she had a really good performance in the first debate. We'll look to see if she continues that as those events continue. Marie mentioned the foreign policy chops that she has, and I think that's really important to note, as well as her overall resume. Right, she's a very qualified individual who maybe in another year would get much more attention. But those poll numbers, I'm not convinced that there's a Nikki Haley surge at the moment. I think we need to, and you both know this, right? We need to always sort of take care in interpreting individual poll results. I think we need to see if maybe a few more instances where we see that support increase measured over a few more polls, because without getting too far into the weeds, right? The margin of error, and I don't have that poll in front of me, but the margin of error on it might be plus or minus 3 points, which means maybe it didn't move at all. So I think we just got to be careful. We got to take it slow. We got a long way to go in this thing, and there are going to be a bunch of twists and turns without a doubt, and maybe one of them is Nikki Haley, posing more of a threat to former President Trump.
Here's the poll that kind of stuck out in my mind. The Washington Post, 538, and Ipsos released a poll last week, and here's what they found. Pre-debate, 29% of GOP primary voters who watched the debate said they were considering voting for her. And that increased to 46% after the debate. So that number, to me, that jump was significant. And I think at this stage of the game, maybe those are the kinds of polls we should keep an eyeball on. That they were, I'm considering a vote for her, maybe.
Sure.
So I sort of liked where that was coming from. What does she have to do next? That's my question. I mean, if you were advising her campaign, what does she have to do next?
Well, I think, Maria, that's a really good point about that particular poll result, right? Maybe the ones we need to watch are not the who are you going to vote for at the moment, but the ones about consideration, and I would add to that favorability, unfavorability ratings, which a number of Republicans post-debate saw a sizable jump, right, where more Republican voters are viewing them favorably. If I'm on the inside of Nikki Haley's campaign right now, I'm telling her, keep doing what you're doing. As we said, right, this is a long haul. She's got a long way to go, as does everybody, right? Keep building name recognition, keep trying to drive up those favorability ratings, and try it in some way to eat into that lead that President Trump has. And I think those are really the key numbers to watch. If anybody's going to be a threat to former President Trump in the nomination race, let's watch his numbers to see if they decline or his unfavorability numbers go up, those sorts of things.
I think, she's the only woman on the stage. I think a lot of people are rooting for a woman president. I think her move to the middle is attractive to a lot of conservatives who are worried that the party's moving too far to the right. But at the same time, I don't know if any of it matters because you have Donald Trump. Unless somehow he's removed, I don't think anybody can do anything about Donald Trump.
Well, as we're here today, Kevin, I think that's probably right. The strength of Trump has shown almost no sign of abating. And, Nikki Haley, yes, if she tacks to the middle, that could be very advantageous in a general election. But she's got to get through this primary first. And those independent voters, those moderate voters that you were talking about at the beginning of the segment, they're not a big enough element of the GOP primary electorate to put her or anybody else over the top. It's everybody's got to focus on Trump if they're going to try to knock him off his pedestal right now.
Well, it's been pretty well documented that anyone who directly attacks the former president is going to lose support. This is just a reality of how this is being played out. So going forward, she has said in the past that she believes that the party is ready for new leadership, that we need to move forward, new policies, not the policies of the past. But that's about as big as her attacks have been against the former president. But she cannot go a direct attack on him or it'll cost her.
I think that's right. And as you've said, we've seen that as other candidates have tried to carve out their little corner of this primary, that when they do go after the former president, they don't see any benefit, right? And I think that it's just a really tough needle to thread, and it's one that we've not seen before, where you've got a former president running in a primary after losing, right? In a contested primary. I mean, it's really a line that they have to walk, right? Where they're trying to create contrast. They're trying to show why voters should pick them instead of Donald Trump. But if they go too far in that, they raise the ire of those Republicans that are certainly in Trump's camp or are maybe inclined to support him.
Thank you so much. David Dulio, Director for the Center of Civic Engagement at Oakland University. You're listening to All Talk on